The biggest risk to the US economy right now isn't AI. It isn't the Fed. It's a filing cabinet full of 5-year loans nobody thought twice about back in 2016. Because here's the thing about commercial real estate. Most loans aren't 30-year mortgages like your house. They're 5, 7, maybe 10 years, then they need to be refinanced entirely. And that means whatever rate the world was living in when the loan was signed, that's frozen in amber until the loan matures. So rewind to 2016 through 2021. Rates were basically nothing. Office buildings, apartment complexes, strip malls, all of it got financed on the assumption that cheap money was the permanent weather, not just a season. Well, that season's over. And in 2026 and 2027, roughly $1.5 trillion of commercial real estate debt comes due. All at once, walking straight into a world where borrowing costs are 2, 3, sometimes 4 times higher than when the loan was signed. Here's why that's not just an inconvenience. It's a math problem. Take an office building bought when rates were near zero. The old loan payment was manageable. Refinance that same building today, and the monthly payment can jump so much the property doesn't generate enough income to cover it anymore. That's not a rounding error. That's the entire deal underwater. And it's not hypothetical. Office vacancy across major US cities is sitting near record highs, remote work never fully reversed, and lenders are already seeing borrowers hand back the keys rather than refinance at all. This is where regional banks come in, because they're not just bystanders here. They're holding a huge chunk of this debt. Small and mid-sized banks hold a disproportionate share of commercial real estate loans compared to the giant banks everyone worries about. Which means when this wall of debt hits, it isn't Wall Street's problem first. It's Main Street's. We got a preview of this in 2023 with Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Different trigger, same fragility. Banks holding assets that looked fine on paper until rates moved and the music stopped. Commercial real estate is the sequel nobody asked for. So what actually happens when a loan can't be refinanced? Extend and pretend. Banks quietly extend the loan, delay the reckoning, and hope rates fall or property values recover before the next deadline. That's been the playbook for the last 2 years. But extend and pretend only works if you eventually have somewhere better to land. And every extension just moves the wall a little further down the road, not away. Meanwhile, property values on office buildings have already fallen 30 to 40% from their peaks in some major markets. So even owners who want to refinance responsibly are stuck. The building's worth less, the loan's more expensive, and the equity that used to cushion the deal has evaporated. This is why the smartest people in the room aren't watching the Fed's next rate decision like it's the whole story. A single cut doesn't undo $1.5 trillion of debt repricing into a structurally different world. Because unlike 2008, this isn't one big explosion. It's a slow bleed, one regional bank, one office tower, one loan maturity at a time. And that's exactly why nobody's talking about it. It's not a crash you can put a date on. It's not a headline with a villain. It's just math, quietly working its way through the system, one refinancing deadline at a time. So while everyone's arguing about rate cuts and AI valuations, keep an eye on the wall. Because the reckoning isn't coming. It's already being scheduled, one maturity date at a time.